Hi, dear children. This class is for 10th standard, first language English. The lesson that we have chosen is the first lesson, A Wrong Man in Workers' Paradise. This lesson, A Wrong Man in Workers' Paradise, is written by Rabindranath Tagore. So now, children, you are able to see the picture of Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath Tagore was born in the year 1861 and he expired in the year 1941. He is our national poet. He had a multifaceted personality. He was not only a great poet but also a great genius in music, painting, acting, choreography, etc. He was the first Indian to receive the Nobel Prize. He was awarded this honor in the year 1913 for his Gitanjali, a collection of poems. So now, children, going with the explanation of the lesson A Wrong Man in Workers' Paradise, we have first 7 paragraphs of the lesson here. Before going with the explanation of each and every line, I want you to keep your pen and book near to you. Make a note of all the meanings that I stress on. After all the slides, you have assignment also given. I want you to answer them. For that, I want you to keep the book and pen and take a note of all the meanings and the meaning of every paragraphs so that you can answer it later. So coming to the first para, the man had never believed in mere utility. What is this mere utility? Anything that is small work, small purpose, small useful work, he never believed in. Even if it is small also, he never believed in. Such kind of a man we see in this lesson. We see a man who never believed in any useful, whether it is small also, he never believed in such useful works. Having had no useful work, he indulged in mad whims. So what did he do is, he didn't have any useful work in his hand to do. So he indulged himself in mad desires. Whims means sudden desires. So in such mad desires, say for example, painting, sculpting, something as such, he indulged means involving himself in some mad desires. He made, see what he did? He made little pieces of sculpture like men, women, castlements, something like palaces, quaint earthen things. Quaint earthen things means fancy and attractive earthen things, whatever that you get. With that, he used things dotted over with seashells. He used to play with the seashells. He used to do some decorative things with the seashells. He painted. Thus, he wasted his time on all that was useless, needless. So he painted and he did all the works that were useless and needless. Nothing was useful. People laughed at him. After seeing such kind of people, what will you also do? You too will laugh at them. In the same way, people laughed at him. At times, he hoped to shake off his whims, but they lingered in his mind. Sometimes, what he felt was when somebody laughed at him, he used to promise himself, hoped means promise himself to shake off, to throw the desires that he has in his mind. But they continue to exist in his mind. Lingered means continue to exist in his mind. Some boys seldom play their books and yet pass their test. Some boys seldom means rarely, play means read or study. Some boys rarely read or study. Yet, study what? Books. Read what? Books. So, some boys used to rarely read books or study, but yet they used to pass their test. Yes or no? In similar manner, a similar thing happened to this man also. He spent his earth life in useless work, and yet after his death, the gates of heaven opened wide for him. See, children, there are some people who don't do any useless work when they are on earth, but yet they get a chance to go to heaven. Same thing happened with this fellow also. The heaven's door was widely opened for him to go when he expired. So, but the moving finger writes even in heaven. So, moving finger writes even in heaven means the one who was doing nothing when he was on earth continues to do the same when he goes to heaven. Yes or no? Whether it is hell or heaven, when he is not doing any work here, same thing he does there. He will be useless even there. He did the same. So it came to pass that the aerial messenger who took charge of the man made a mistake and found him a place in workers' paradise. So aerial messenger means God's messenger. So when somebody is dead, there is a aerial messenger, God's messenger, who will have a note of this person has to go to this place, or this person falls in another place. He will keep a note of them. By his mistake, this fellow was put in workers' paradise instead of some other paradise. Instead of some other place, he was put to workers' paradise. It's a wrong choice, yes or no? That is the reason why this lesson is named A Wrong Man in Workers' Paradise. He will not do any work, but still he is put there. So, a wrong man in workers' paradise. So, in the fifth para, in this paradise you find everything except leisure. So, see, he only had leisure when he was on earth. Now, in the paradise where he has gone, there he gets hardly time for leisure. Not he, sorry. People get everything they'll do, but except leisure, they will have everything. Here, men say, God, we haven't a moment to spare. Women whisper, let's move on, time's flying. So those who are in the workers' paradise, especially men, will say, we have no moment to spare. We don't have even a single minute to spare for our own things or for other things. We only have work here to do. Women say, come on, let's go, time is flying. And all together they say, time is more precious than any other thing. We have our hands completely filled with work. We make use of every single minute, everybody says. They sigh complainingly. Sigh meaning is, with a deep breaths, they complain, telling all these things, saying, we don't have time to spare, we don't have time, time is flying, time is very precious, our hands are completely filled, we don't like to waste even a single minute. All these things they'll say, they'll complain, but yet the words make them happy and exalted. Those words make them really very happy and also contentful. But this newcomer, who had passed all his life on earth without doing a scrap of useful work, scrap means a piece of useful work, did not fit in with the scheme of things in workers' paradise. What is the meaning of scheme? The plan of workers' paradise. He longed meaning is, he lay, he sat, he stood, he relaxed very lazily. You can take anything. He lied, he sat, he stood, he relaxed, very lazy manner he did in the streets absently, very absent-mindedly. He used to lazily walk, roam, sit, stand, like this. And jostled meaning is roughly bumped or pushed or elbowed on the man who was hurrying. He jostled the hurrying man. So he used to lazily be, when he is doing all this, the one who is hurrying to do some work, he used to trouble them. He lay down in the green meadows. He used to go and lay down in the piece of garland, or close to the fast flowing stream, or to the river stream, to the water stream which was moving very fast. To that stream he used to go close, you used to go and lie down there. and was taken to task by busy farmers. Every time he used to pass, every time the farmer used to pass them, they used to tell him, do that work, do this work, why are you simply sitting over there? He was always in the way of others. He was always coming in the way of others, but he never did any work. I hope you all understood till the 7th paragraph. Let's move to the next para. Now we have 8 to 16 paragraphs given in the next slide. Coming to the 8th para. A bustling girl went every day to a silent torrent. Silent, since in the workers' paradise, even a torrent wouldn't waste its energy singing to fill a pitchers. So what is the meaning of bustling? Bustling means full of activity. This girl, who used to always be filled with one or the other activity, very busy she was, went every day to a silent torrent. Torrent is a place where a fast moving stream of water, you can say, a very strong fast moving water stream it is. She used to go there every day to fill her pitcher. Even why is this torrent described as silent? Because even a torrent will not waste its time or energy singing. So the Rabindranath Tagore has so beautifully described the torrent to be silent in Workers' Paradise. The girl's movement on the road was like the rapid movement of a skilled hand on the strings of a guitar. So the girl's movement on the road was just like a rapid movement. Very fastly she used to go here and there, from the pitcher to the place where she has to pour the water. Of a skilled hand on the strings of a guitar. So beautifully, the movement of the girl is described here, just like a string on the guitar, how it moves. In that way, she used to move from one place to another place. Her hair was carelessly done. She never cared about plaiting her hair. She never even cared about her hair, whether it is neatly tied or not. Inquisitive whips peeped often over her forehead to peer at the dark wonder of her eye. That is, inquisitive means very curious, a small thin bunch of hair. Curious, whips means a small thin bunch of hair used to peep from her forehead to peer. Peer is nothing but look with difficulty. It used to with a lot of difficulty, it used to see what is her dark wonder eyes looking at. It is in such a way how beautifully our author has described the girl. The girl movement was so fast. It was just like a strings on a guitar. Her hair was not neatly tied. It was carelessly done. And a small thin bunch of hair, very curiously it is seeing what this girl is doing. What are her wonder eyes looking at? It used to come on her face. The small hair which was on her forehead used to close her eyes and it used to make her peep. So like this, the author has described the girl. The idler was standing by the stream. This idler, who is the idler here? The man who had no work. So that man who had no work was standing by the stream. This girl used to go there to fetch some water. As a princess sees a lonely beggar and he is filled with pity, just like princess, some mahal's princess, if she sees a lonely beggar who was and is filled with pity, she feels very sad for him. So she feels like doing something for him. In the same way, this busy girl of the heaven saw this one and was filled with pity. She, just like the princess who feels pity for the lonely beggar, this busy girl also felt pity for this man who was standing idle. "Ha!" she cried with concern. "You have no work in hand, have you?" So first of all, it's a worker's paradise. All are busy. All feel even wasting a minute is a biggest mistake. So for her, she felt so pity for him and she'll ask, "You don't have any work, have you?" The man sighed. Sighed means with a deep breath he says, "Work, I have not a moment to spare for work." He says, see how mean he is. He says, "Work? No ways. I don't have even a moment to spare for a work." he says. So the girl did not understand his words and said, I shall spare some work for you to do if you like. She says, she could see him not doing no work. So she says, if you like, I'll spare you some work. The man replied, Girl of the silent torrent, all this time I had been waiting to take some work from your hands. With a very, just like telling her, oh ho, you're going to give me work? Okay, give me. In such a way, he says, oh girl of a silent torrent means she comes there every day, no? So he says, a girl of a silent torrent, all this time I was waiting to take work from your hand itself. Come on, give me some work, let me see, he says. What kind of a work would you like? She asks him. Will you give me one of your pitchers? One that you can spare? So she'll have pitchers in her hand. That is, pitcher is nothing but a jug. A large jug. So he'll ask, give me one jug from which is in your hand. He will ask, she asked, a pitcher? You want to draw water from the torrent? She will ask, you want a pitcher which is in my hand? Why? Do you want to fetch some water from the torrent? She asks. Then what happened? Let's see in the next slide. So children, now you have 17th to 26th paragraph here. Going with the 17th para. No, I shall draw pictures on your pitcher. So the man says, no, I don't want to draw any water from the torrent. I just want your pitcher to draw some pictures. The girl was annoyed. The meaning of annoyed is silently feeling angry and irritated. And she asked, pictures? Indeed, I have no time to waste on such as you. I'm going. And she walked away. So she says, I don't have time to waste on such things. I'll just move. And she walked away. But how could a person, especially busy person, get the better of one who had nothing to do? See, when you are very much busy and you see somebody like your friend without doing any work, will you feel like leaving them as it is? No, you will say, hey, come here, join me, or come man, join me, we'll do this. So, same thing happened with her. Every day they met, and every day he said to her, girl of the silent torrent, give me one of your clay pictures, I shall draw pictures on it. Every day he used to ask the same thing, same line he used to repeat. She yielded at last. That is, yield in the sense, she will provide her picture at the last. She gave one of her picture to him to draw pictures. The man started painting. He drew line after line and he put colors after colors. So once he has to draw picture means, if he is a painter, he will start drawing lines, he will start coloring. Same thing happened over there. When he had completed his work, the girl held up the picture and stared at its sides, her eyes puzzled. So she never saw something like this in Workers' Paradise before. It was like something different for her. So she held that picture in her hand. She started to see. She stared at that particular picture at every sides of the picture, and her eyes was completely puzzled, unable to understand. Puzzled means unable to understand what is this picture all about. Brows drawn. Usually when you are surprised or if you don't understand anything, your eyebrows will start going up. And she asked, what do they mean? All those lines and colors. What is the purpose? So she asks, what does this lines and colors mean, and what is the purpose? Purpose means what is the reason for this? The man laughed and he says, nothing. A picture may have no meaning and serve no purpose. He says, a picture may not always have some meaning, and there is no rules that it has to serve any purpose. Purpose means reason. So it is nothing. He laughed and he'll tell her. So children, now you have 27th to 36th paragraph here. Coming to 27th paragraph, the girl went away with her pitcher. At home, away from praying eyes, she held it in the light, turned it round and round, and scanned the painting from all angles. At night, she moved out of bed, lighted a lamp, and scanned it again in silence. For the first time in her life, she had seen something that had no meaning and no purpose at all. So after the picture was drawn on the picture, she asked him, what is the purpose of it? He says there is no purpose, there is no reason, or there is no meaning for it. You can just take it. So she comes back home, and after coming back to home, she wanted to see if nobody is looking at her watching the picture. Nobody should watch her seeing the picture. So we call them as praying eyes, someone looking at you. So she held it in the light, turned it round and round. She will turn that picture round and round and scanned the painting from all angles. From all angles she will scan that painting. At night she moved out of bed. When she was sleeping also she couldn't sleep. Again she comes out of her bed, lighted a lamp and scanned it again in silence. Again in silence she will scan that particular picture. For the first time in her life she had seen something that had no meaning. For the first time, every day she used to be completely busy from morning to night, so she used to easily sleep. But today, for this first time, she was not able to sleep because she is seeing something that had no meaning and no purpose at all for the first time. When she set out for the torrent the next day, every day her work was to go to torrent and fetch some water and come. Next day also she does the same thing. Her hurrying feet were a little less hurried than before. Every day, in the beginning, our author said her movements of walk were so beautifully described. Yes or no, children? To a guitar. Now, her hurrying moving feet were little less hurried. Were not much hurried, were little less hurried than before. For a new sense seemed to have awakened in her. New sense means new desire, new taste had actually awakened in her. Awakened means rose in her. A sense that seemed to have no meaning and no purpose. That rosen feeling in her, that taste or desire that has come to her today, what she has seen, actually has no meaning and purpose, is what the author is saying. She saw the painter standing by the torrent and asked in confusion. She saw the painter standing near the torrent again, and she will ask in confusion, "What do you want of me?" Again she'll ask, "What do you want now?" "Only some more work from your hands." He'll ask, "I want to do some more work, but I want it from your hands only," he says. "What kind of work would you like?" she asks. "Let me make a colored ribbon for your hair," he answered. He says, "I want to make a colored ribbon for your hair. Will you spare me, or will you give me that work?" "And what for?" She will ask, "For what are you going to do this?" He again smiles and says, "Nothing." Again, 36th para here, ribbons were made bright with colors. So she'll wait there. The ribbons were also made now. The busy girl of workers' paradise had now to spend a lot of time every day tying the colored ribbon around her hair. All these days, she never neatly tied her hair. They were carelessly done. That you can see in 9th paragraph. They were very carelessly done. But now she had a lot of time to spend on tying that colored ribbon over her hair, around her hair. The minutes slipped by, unutilized. Much work was left unfinished. The minutes were slipping down. Every minute were very important for them. But now the minutes were slipping down. They were unutilized. Much work was left unfinished. Next, what happens? Let's see. So now we have the last few paragraphs of this lesson, children, 37th to 44th paragraphs. Coming to the 37th paragraph, in workers' paradise, work had of late begun to suffer. Many persons who had been active before were now idle, wasting their precious time on useless things such as painting and sculpture. So we saw the girl who was very much hurried in doing her work had now little hurried, and also the one who did not even tie her hair properly has now started to care about her hair. So like this, not just that girl, few other people in the workers' paradise had become inactive and were now idle. And they also started doing some useless things like painting and sculpture. So what happens over there in workers' paradise? The work will start suffering. So the elders came to know about this. They became very anxious. A meeting was held. All the people who are in the workers' paradise were called. All agreed that such a state of affairs had so far been unknown in the history of the workers' paradise. Everybody agreed that such kind of an affair means event or sequence of event, what is happening presently, the event of being very lazy and nobody is working, the work is being suffered nowadays, that event had actually not happened in the history of the workers' paradise is what the elders are saying, and all others are also agreeing for that. The aerial messenger hurried in. Immediately, the aerial messenger who brought this man into the workers' paradise came very hurryingly, bowed before the elders and made a confession. He made a confession means he admitted. He admits saying that I brought a wrong man into this paradise. He said, it is all because of him. Why is the work being not completed, or it is all are becoming inactive in this particular workers' paradise is because of the wrong man whom I have brought in this particular paradise, sir. I'm really sorry. He bows down his head. The man was summoned. Summoned is nothing but asked to be present, ordered to be present in that particular meeting. As he came, the elders saw his fantastic dress, his quaint brushes, his pains, and they knew at once that he was not the right sort for workers' paradise. So as soon as he was asked to come, he came there. When he was standing there, the elders were able to see his fantastic dress and the quaint brushes. Quaint brushes means attractively unusual or old-fashioned brushes, paints. After seeing all these things, for elders it is very easy to recognize this person do not fit to be in workers' paradise. Stiffly the president said, this is no place for the like of you. You must leave, he says very stiffly. That is, without relaxing, he says, this is not a place for you. You must leave, he says. The man with a deep breath in relief and gathered up his brushes and paints. But as he was about to go, what happens? He will gather all the things, brushes and paints. That is, suppose that he was very happy to leave. So he gathers everything. But before he leaves the place, the girl of the silent torrent came up tripping and cried. She comes up tripping. Why did she come up tripping? Tripping means walked or run with quick light steps. She runs or she'll walk up with a quick light steps, and she cried, wait a moment, I shall come with you. She says, I will also come with you. Please wait for me, she says. The elders gasped. Gasped means catch one's breath with an open mouth, or astonishment you can call it as. With an astonishment, with an open mouth, they say. They were so much surprised. Never before had a thing like this happened in workers' paradise. They say, never before in workers' paradise something like this happened. A thing that had no meaning and no purpose at all. There is no meaning for him to be here, or the things that he is doing is of no use. And today this girl is also going, and this never happened in workers' paradise is what they all were astonished about. I hope you all understood from the first to 44th paragraph of this lesson. So children, coming to the assignments, glossaries, answer in a sentence each, and write a short note is given. I believe you people made a note of all the meanings that were asked to write down when the paragraph's explanation was going on. So answer all these meanings, and I hope the explanation was clear to you all. I don't want anyone to leave the assignments incomplete. Complete it and keep it with you readily. Okay? All the best. Thank you. Take care.